Hey there, it's another Comm 102 quick tip. We're talking about listening this week, and I wanted to talk a little bit about critical listening. It's one of the four forms of listening. When we are using critical listening, we're sort of automatically becoming more active in our listening because we're analyzing what is being said. Part of critical listening is taking in the information you're receiving, thinking about what does it actually mean for the person? How do you feel about it? What's your opinion on what they're hearing, and how would you feel if you were in their position? It automatically makes your mind pay more attention. Also, being critical of, is the information true? Is what I'm hearing accurate? Are there other sources that confirm this kind of thing? So you're analyzing the information you're receiving in your brain at the same time, and it causes you to be more involved in the listening process. We also, if we're being critical listeners, we're listening to all of the content, not just the things we want to hear, or not just the things that sound interesting and we ignore some of the other parts. And then, we've all had that situation happen where we're listening to somebody talk and it's like, blah, 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 when are they ever going to shut up? And then they ask you something about a particular point. You go, what did you just say? What was that point? Because you weren't paying attention. When we're involved in critical listening, we're more active and we're analyzing what we're hearing at the same time. And what I do in my face-to-face classes, you're about to do it too. This is a very quick critical listening test, and it shows you how bad we fall into those barriers to good listenings, thinking ahead of time what the person's going to say, or just glazing over, or thinking about what we want to say next, that kind of thing. This shows you an example sort of those barriers in play, because most people will not get this correctly. So follow the instructions and see if you can't answer the question that's asked at the end of this.
This is a critical listening activity. You will be asked to listen to a paragraph and at the end, respond to a question. You can take notes if you would like. Let's begin. You are the driver of a school bus. On the first stop at 6:40 a.m., there are 5 students to pick up on the corner of 2nd and Warren. On the second stop at 6:50 a.m., there are 10 students to pick up on the corner of 3rd and Prentice. On the third and final stop at 7:05 a.m., there are 15 students to pick up on the corner of 5th and Alexandrian. A total of 30 students are dropped off at their local high school on the corner of 8th and West Wilson at 7:25 a.m. What is the age of the bus driver?
Now, most of the time when I show that, most students don't get it. They're, well, what do you mean? I'm confused. It's like one of those math problems. A bus is traveling at 50 miles an hour going east, and a train is heading west at 300 miles an hour. At Tuesday at noon, what color will the sky be? You're just what? But the answer is actually in that thing. And I've had students get out pieces of paper and write down, how many students were picked up, and what's the total number of students and where were they and all of that kind of stuff. And the answer is very simple. What is the name of the driver of the bus? It's in the very first sentence. You can go back and watch this again. The first sentence is, you're the driver of a bus. So the answer is, whatever your name is, you are the driver. And people don't get it because we typically automatically start analyzing, okay, there's going to be numbers here. We got to take notes. We got to add things up. We're anticipating what's going on. And so we're in our own minds rather than paying attention to what's being delivered from the other person. And so we're not actively involved in listening. We aren't even critically analyzing the information we're getting. So critical listening is another one of those things we can do to improve our overall retention level and achieve better understanding. And that's another quick tip. I'll see you later.